Hi, I'm Angela, and you are a being of light. So, some of you know that spiritual thought or feeling or truth that you are a being of light. So, today I wanted to call on that being of light and remind you that it's easy to connect with that love that comes from feeling how you are a being of light. Yeah. So, I've also got a few tips to share about how to get really simple and direct connection with your soul to get answers to any problems in your life. I've said in other videos, when I dance, I know things. But, I spend a lot of the day avoiding dancing because I've got things to do: work, cooking, showering, cleaning, blah, de, blah, de, blah. So I just want to invite you to think about when you were young and you just didn't have anything to think about. It might be like watching something on the box or the computer or reading a book where you could escape. And just think about that time where you were maybe spending hours wasting time, idling the hours away and just connecting to yourself. So that, my friends, is a simple way to reconnect to that natural, easy part of your nature that allows your consciousness to feel free. What typically happens, though, is that at some point you have to grow up, right? I'm resisting. I'm saying no. Why grow up? You can still reconnect to that earlier sense of the self. But unfortunately, what happens is we have these stories that accumulate about how we should be in the world. And that's where I want to touch on simple ways to get those answers, simple, direct answers from your soul. Because all of the stuff that you've experienced in your life, some of you and some of us have had trauma in early childhood as well, or before we can remember even. So, yes, we have these stories and these feelings and real trauma for some of us about being in this body. So the concept of being a being of light is hard to feel sometimes when we're stuck in that feeling of the body that's not happy, that maybe has experienced heartbreak and hurt. So this is where I get to that point where some people say, can you really just do spiritual work and, feel good? Is it that easy? Can you really just meditate and all of your worries go away? Well, the answer is yes. It may not happen overnight, but it's been shown and proven by many great teachers that the path of meditation, which for me is through movement, through Sufi movement, through the classes I share, world dance healing and dance healing, which is another different way of experiencing the self. And for me in the dance, it was feeling how I'm a being of light. When I dance and I feel that light self, the light body, they call it, the energy body, it's got a sense of real space. And it begins to harmonize my body, harmonize my thoughts, and give me insights, which you can call intuition. And for some of us, it will be more than intuition. It will be a feeling of being connected to your higher self or God or whatever you want to call it. Maybe you'll feel connected to all life, the oneness with all that is. You might even feel, as with me and some others that I know, a sense of connected to other realms or other planets, the Earth and the planet Earth itself. World dance has given me that gift. When you dance in world dance, it's dancing with the world, it's dancing with the earth. And you get that feeling of being connected to life, all life, animals, nature, humans, tribes, cultures that have lived before us. It's enormous what world dance has within all of those different dance forms. It's got history embedded in the dance. So being a being of light is a feeling that you experience in dance, because you're no longer stuck by this perception that I am Angela and I do this and I am this and I am that person, I'm in relationship with this person. You're much more than one role that you might play in your life. You're eternal. The Sufis say that everything in the moment is eternal. The moment is eternity. And that's where in meditation, whether you do it through my form is dance and dance healing, or you do it through seated meditation, it gives you that sense of the eternal self that's always there in any millisecond or breath or motion or thought even. It's that self that's beyond the thought, that's always there, and it's eternal. So I just want to bring it back a little to like getting the simple answers and a few simple techniques. One I started the video with of how to get back to the simplicity of all of this, because sometimes with spiritual work or just with the daily life, we always feel like we have to do extra to get connection to ourselves or connection to the spirit or connection to inner peace. And I want to show you how simple it can be. And then purposely, I hope you can hear the background music, but I just wanted to have this music to start with a really simple strategy. The first one was, I said at the beginning, was to remember that time where you were a kid and you just got lost in some activity, whether it was a book or music or listening to a track of music. And if you've got the music, put it on and just remember that childish moment, that time that had no time, that was timeless, because when you grew up you didn't know what time was, right? And then next is to find that feeling, the feeling like in this music where you're just bopping and allowing yourself to just come back to feeling a simple move where maybe you need a track that has this same bopping feeling that brings you into a little bounce. And little bounces are throughout all world dance. That's why I love world dance. It's got bouncy bounce through most of the music, and it allows us to feel this rock and allows you to feel the impulse that's in any moment to just allow yourself to bounce along with time, bounce along with the moment. If I find I'm too much in my head, what I'll notice is I get computer face, and my partner's really good at saying to me, "What's wrong?" It's like, I'm dealing with the computer right now. It's a good time to take a moment then and there when you're really in the head. Just come back to just that simple bounce and not take it so seriously. Yes, if you don't get that project done or if you don't send that email, the world is not going to fall apart. But for us, when we're trying to get simple answers, we're often using our head in a way that's not helpful. And I found just coming back to a bounce or a sense of letting go and releasing through a bounce movement and some bouncy music, or bouncing on the trampoline, or just feeling yourself move away from whatever's disturbing you and coming into a rocking movement is really, really helpful. And the third one is a little bit more cryptic, this tip, but it's when we get stuck in our perceptions about relationships. So sometimes relationships are not just the problem when we look at our external relationships. We may just start to see a certain person as a pain in the, what, or we may be complaining about something in our life, a group of people, something not working in a relationship. So those things for me are key things as we work with this feeling that your soul is a being of light, right? That has a vessel of the soul, for example. You're a being of light in this soul, using this soul to explore this world through relationships. Everything is experienced through relationships. Relationship with your body, relationship with your thoughts, relationship with this computer that might be bugging you out. When it comes to people, this is where I find a simple way to connect to your soul through dance. And I know this is weird, but go with me for a moment. In the dance, when we're often experiencing a trouble with a person in our lives, there's something there that your soul is looking to get your attention. You don't have problems in relationships unless your soul set you up for that problem. That's the simple truth. And you can blame that person for the rest of your life, but it won't change that that person was put there by your soul to experience something. And this is where the dance has really helped me if I have emotions about the relationship. It may not be about the person at all. It may be more of a fear of losing the relationship. And usually that's what it is. Or the concerns we have about the relationship are hurting someone's feelings or them not liking us. And then what might be the worst outcome, we'll lose the relationship or they won't like you. So in general, what I found the secret with this simple answers for understanding why that obstacle or problem or discomfort or feelings that were uncomfortable about any relationship is simply to just feel who you are. And there'll be a contrast. You'll feel the emotion. This person. You'll feel whatever the fear is, because it's usually fear about losing the relationship or them not liking you. You'll feel it and then reconnect to who you are. For me, I do that through dancing and through really just feeling my heart. I may not be thinking about the relationship. It might be distant or some other experience in the week that I've forgotten about. But those emotions might be still there. And then when I feel just that connection with my heart and feel relaxed and connected, then I come back to the situation. If it's still there, the feelings about what am I going to do? What am I going to say? How do I approach this? All of the talking and thinking, it's really a lot of energy trying to be released. And so for me, coming back to the heart and dancing with it, feeling it, expanding it, and we do this in the Sufi work, we do it in the world dance. The heart is actually the center of the body in terms of the chakras, but it's actually the center of balance above our feet and our pelvic floor and the area above our head. So the heart in the physical body is an important architecture of balance. How do we seek balance as we're moving with our relationships? And our relationships are where we move through the heart chakra so much. But often we're stuck in that sacral chakra where there's a lot of rubbish and stories about relationships. So feel and connect to the heart. And that may be easy to say. I've done it through many techniques. How do you do it? I'm just going to ask you, put it in the comments. How do you connect to the heart when your mind is going rubbish, comment, thought about X, Y, Z person, or about my parents or my friend or my partner or whatever? I've had many situations where I've had rubbish thoughts and they've gone. because I just connect to the heart. I've bounced and felt that connection in the music. I'm happy. And I've actually just realized that that rubbish thought I had about the person is rubbish. So it goes. Now, for some of us, we have trauma. I don't like that word, but it's actually because we've built a lot of hurt over time, and that hurt is real. I'm not saying that doesn't exist. What I am saying is that from the soul connection, the hurt was there to help you develop something. And that part of you is the being of light. And it needs to be cultivated in these times. Our beings of light are being challenged because the world is going through enormous change. And it's being called upon to connect to your heart, to call on your soul, to be connected to that heart of who you would be. So you don't need to get it right. You don't need to be perfect. But you can get simple answers, and that's what I'm sharing with you today. There's simple answers waiting for us. We just need to really actively do it and practice it. I practice something every day with my meditation practice. I don't always have thoughts that are perfect and wonderful, and I don't expect myself to. But in the connection with my soul and to my heart, there are a lot of answers that are given very, very fast without having to go through the mind and healing and psychology and why did I do this and where did this come from. The past is actually not really significant. It's that moment of connecting with the soul that's becoming much more significant. That's what I talk about in this new age, this new era of consciousness that we're developing, is that connecting with the soul is easy. We're very aware when we're not connected. The connection is easy because a lot of us are getting awakened to that soul connection. That's constant. We are meditating more. We are doing practices, dance or yoga or spiritual connection practices as a collective more than any other period collectively that we know of. So know that we're moving forward, and that you, if you want, can join and feel very quickly how to sense your soul as a guarantee of simple answers, not looking outside for other people to tell you you're enough, because that soul is there and it's easy to connect to. If you want to learn how to do that through dance, I'm going to share that the dance classes in Sydney, and in April I'll be looking at doing some online classes for the USA EST time zone. So thank you for watching, and I wish you a beautiful, easy connection with your soul, and I look forward to hearing where you might be feeling that connection and feeling those childhood memories where you were able to connect as well. Let me know in the comments those ways that you connect to that easy sense of self that was playful and